Last we left off on this episode's more Vyogon had just completed another mission from the Thieves Guild, and that was to travel back to Whiterun and help one of her allies gain control of the honey brew meadery. And now with other missions in play, I need to go to Solitude before returning to Riften.
They're reforming the Dawn Guard.
In Solitude.
Vampire.
And there's a burglary job. Just retrieve one ornate drinking horn.
There's something in the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself.
Got enough for a horse. That'll help me get to the Solitude that much faster.
Got the fleetest steeds and... Suppose so. You've got a deal. It's the one with the saddle.
Quite a few destroyed ruins in Skyrim. Quite a few ruins, period. Even wolves will only chase you for so long. There are quite a few burial mounds, such as that right there. It amazes me how many of them are close to the road, such as that one. A number of them are off the road, but you can get some pretty impressive sights while just riding around. Quick travel would get you there faster, but you'd miss certain things like this. And here's Rorikstead, which means I'm a good ways to Solitude. Also the hometown of that thief that you start the game with. Bandits. With no idea how to aim either. The thing with AI is that they are actually rather accurate, but they don't know how to lead their aim. So in other words, what they aim at is where you are in a particular moment. So as long as you know how to move, you can generally avoid their arrows. And most of those is just keeping moving and not staying in one particular area long enough for them to use their aim against you. It helps even more with arrows in this game, that the speed that the arrows can help you dodge them. The only disadvantage is if you're running away from them, and that it's easier for them to get a line of sight on you at that point. I'm very close to Solitude now. It's just up this road. Yeah, one of the moons of Nern, the smaller of the two moons. Interesting enough, for this moon it actually orbits the other moon. So Nern has two moons and one of those moons circles the other moon. You can tell the difference between the two. The red one is the larger one. Should be around there somewhere. And here is Solitude, the capital of Skyrim.
They can't hurt Uncle Rogvir. Tell them he didn't do it.
Positions.
Sorry, Nico.
Get on with it!
You betrayed us. Traitor.
You help me. You help people, right? That's what you do.
Technically, no, it's not what I do. Okay, so... the front door's here. Let's see what I can do. Just after one thing. And not getting caught. Hopefully. There's the horn. And I'm out of here.
I've got some salmon to sell.
Hopefully nobody saw me actually take it.
You shouldn't leave Solitude without trying our fish. Best in Skyrim.
Okay, yeah, he didn't hear me. He didn't see me or do what I did.
You should see me when you get bored, stranger. A coin or two for a veteran? It's not much to ask.
Last thing I need is to get a guard on me with stolen goods. That show is kind of pressing it. I probably should have waited a little bit longer. Yeah, this is 8 p.m. Should have waited till midnight. But I got the thing I was sent for, so... The Dragon Bridge is kind of impressive. You can see how dragons and dragon designs have affected ancient Nord designs and also beliefs. And there's a larger of the two moons. There they are, both in the same shot. Okay, that was an arrow. And get our bandits about. And really the uptick in bandits is in large part due to the Civil War. Or Skyrim Civil War.
Why's that?
Spiders.
knew it.
And you get those strange things as well. You're not quite sure why some people just attack you out of nowhere. Mining camp, I believe. Or a mining village. Given its locale. Interesting ruin. The inscriptions on it aren't Norse, Nord, I mean. The outsides might be altered, but if I had to guess, I'd say Dwamner, especially given the gears on the inside. So it's a dwarven entrance to a dwarven city. This should be Dawnstar. Unless I'm completely off where I am. Yeah.
Divine sake, Skull. Who do you think we're threatening with our old war wounds? We're not soldiers anymore.
Which means a little bit further to the east is Winterhold, I believe. Similar design to some of the other barrows over here. The larger ones, that is. Might not be able to get up through this path. There we go. This being what amounts to archer's perch. Able to keep an eye on pretty much the entire area. Looks like they built this right into the island. But if you think about it, it sort of makes sense. Given it would be easier to take advantage of natural caves. At least to start building. And then digging in further. Rather than actually building in some places. Curious. Someone got lost. What this one was doing up here, I don't know. There's not really anything here unless they were part of some type of expedition. Maybe to explore that. There's the Mages College a little bit further ahead to the left. And the statue of Talus, if I'm not mistaken. These wolves have a lot of nerve. And I got rock jumped. But fortunately I'm already here. So I should be able to use the shrine here. Talos. Where? Really, you should have known something like a civil war would happen if they tried to ban Talos, given Talos' importance to the Nords. And Talos wasn't originally part of the Aedra. He was a Nord who basically ascended to becoming an Aedra. One of the things that the Myrrh finds a bit insulting. But to the Nord, however, the idea that a human, or specifically a Nord, could ascend to being a deity is why they've held on to him. And why banning him was certain to lead up to the Civil War.
Don't just walk away from me. Where do you think you're going?
To the inn for a drink.
Okay, from here I'll mostly be going north, which will take me back to Riften. Well, not north, but south. I'm getting myself all mixed up with this. South towards Riften, not north. You can see one of the many reasons why in all this avoid that skeleton. The Civil War has dragged on as long as it has. It's not easy to get around and through Skyrim as it is, even in the best of times. Especially with the weather being what it is through most of Skyrim. You're either dealing with massive snow or, in certain areas, swamps. In some of those areas, both swamp and snow at the same time. So all these things slow down armies and make it far more difficult to actually wage a campaign of any type. The advantage in such a situation usually goes to thieves and assassins. And they're able to move simply because they only have to worry about themselves. When you only have to worry about one person, maybe two of them if you're working with someone else, it becomes easier to move around versus anywhere up to 100 soldiers. Some of these patrols. Although you don't really technically see all the armies. Here, we got another thief. Wants to be thief, maybe assassin. Another one. And while Dunn's upset the Dun nurse. Or if it's just something else. From here I'll go across this and pick up the road on the other side. There's a spa-like, and I'm not exactly sure what to call it. But you go from extreme cold to heat here. It's sort of like Yellowstone Park. You have geysers, spas, or heated water throughout this area. And even I believe some people use some of those pools.
Better come with us right now.
I don't know who you think I am, and I don't care. Leave me alone.
I don't have time for this.
Not too far from Riften. But with that simple ride across Skyrim from Whiterun to Solitude along the northern path, or a northern path, you can definitely see how it would slow down armies. Especially with wolves around every single corner. Been attacked 7 or 8 times, I believe, since leaving Solitude. And this is the village just outside of Riften. You got of course, you got this fort between the two, but still. The fort being one of the checkpoints before you get into Riften. And it's an important one so that it basically controls the road going to the north. So if you cut off that fort, you basically cut off Riften itself. Then the only pathway for Riften is to the south. Further to the south to cross into the Imperial lands, or to the east into Morrowind. Or maybe southeast into the Black Marsh. Going to the east isn't really that great an option. There's no major road for merchants to travel along. And that is mostly because going to the east just takes you out to here. Still gotta get through these mountains. So either it's to the north, which is the easiest one for merchants, which will take it right to Windhelm, or cross country over to here and then follow this water down. Cross country being the more dangerous path. AM. be too early to actually do anything here. So, I'm just going to...
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
I'll tell Maven of handling the meadery.
I trust you have good news for me? This doesn't tell me much. The only thing that could identify Sabjorn's partner is this odd little symbol. Well, whoever this mysterious marking represents, they'll regret starting a war with me. You should bring this information to the Thieves' Guild immediately. There's also the matter of your payment. I believe you'll find this more than adequate for your services. Out of my way.
Fairly nice dagger.
Word on the street is that poor Sabjorn has found himself in Whiterun's prison. How unfortunate for him. Exactly. Now you're beginning to see how our little system works. Maven sent word that you discovered something else while you were out there. Something important to the guild? Then this is beyond coincidence. First Arangoth, and now Sabjorn. Someone's trying to take us down by driving a wedge between Maven and the guild. Mercer thinks he knows a way to identify this new thorn in our side. He wants to meet with you right away. And if I were you, I'd hurry. I've never seen him this angry before.
Yes, this does have a higher priority than the other job.
Oh, you're back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, you done or what? I suppose you want your share now. Here you go. I handle the burglary. If you don't like that kind of work, talk to Delvin. He runs the more up-close and personal jobs.
Let's try shield job.
When a client needs us to eliminate another, we don't operate like the Dark Brotherhood. We find alternate means to get them out of the way. We send you to plant some phony evidence in the Mark's house and then tip off the town guard. The rest takes care of itself. Sound like you can handle it? Here you go. Hope you don't muck it up.
Now to find Mercy.
Even if you're...
One of us, you better not make trouble.
No time for idle chatter. Mercer is awaiting your presence.
Ah, there you are. I've consulted my contacts regarding the information you recovered from Golden Glow Estate, but no one can identify that symbol. It would seem our adversary is attempting to take us apart indirectly by angering Maven Blackbriar. Very clever. You jest, but they've been able to avoid identification for years. They're obviously well-funded, driven, and patient. Just don't mistake my admiration for complacency. Our nemesis is going to pay dearly. Because even after all their posturing and planning, they've made a mistake. The parchment you recovered mentions a Godjal lie. According to my sources, that's an old alias used by one of our contacts. His real name is Gullumai. Gullumai is our inside man at the East Empire Company in Solitude.
Solitude.
I'm betting he acted as a go-between for the sale of Golden Glow Estate and that he can finger our buyer. Get out there, shake him down, see what you come up with. Talk to Brynjolf before you leave if you have any questions.
Need something?
I can't believe Gullumai's mixed up in all this. That Argonian couldn't find his tail with both hands. Don't get me wrong, he could scam a beggar out of his last septim, but he's no mastermind. Trouble? He's one of the most stubborn lizards I've ever met. You have your work cut out for you. You're going to have to buy him off. It's the only way to get his attention. If that fails, follow him and see what he's up to. If I know Gullumai, he's in way over his head, and you'll be able to use it as leverage. Aye, he does indeed. And with his fingers in the East Empire Company's pie, we'll make good use of that debt. If I'm not being clear enough, that means we don't want him killed. For now, just keep on his tail and he's bound to step into something he can't scrape off his boot. A mercantile group that has established ports all over Tamriel. They pretty much dominate the whole shipping industry. The Emperor himself supposedly backs them, which means they have fairly unlimited resources, so don't get their feathers in a ruffle. Gullumai works in the East Empire Company warehouse. He helps maintain all of the shipments of goods that goes in and out of Solitude. That means he has the pick of the litter from some of the finest goods to grace Skyrim's shores. He isn't exactly in the guild, but he pays us a cut of all the stuff he lifts from the warehouse. Good luck in Solitude. Keep Gullumai alive, but remind him who we are.
Marcus. Training room. the vault. Any old lockpick won't do for that. Stones. There we go. She went too far. Two should be enough. 2 more hours. Alright, midnight.
Yeah, I guess I have a minute. What do you want? Yeah, I guess I have a minute. What do you want?
So I got a job at Marquardt and a major one in Solitude. Okay, quick save. There's a guard.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something. In the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself.
It's not too far. Okay. Breaking and entering. There we go. Still awake. But fortunately didn't see me. Now wait an hour. Shoot.
Can't a woman get a moment to herself? Leave me.
Shoot.
What was that?
So the guards are dealing with something.
You dirty thief!
Oh, it's me.
Stop! Thief!
No, it's not me. Very much somebody else.
Time to finish this!
The heck? A death.
We need to do something about these vampire attacks.
Seems like it.
Riften's under my protection. You watch yourself now.
You're not supposed to be in here.
Shoot.
I'm not gonna warn you again. Get...
Staying up all night. Times of the night. Wait another hour. Okay, guard.
The Imperials think we need their laws.
Okay. That tells me that this is on the other side of the Civil War.
You're not supposed to be in here.
Holy cow, when does she sleep?
You're not supposed to be here.
I may have to give up on this place. I'm not certain when this person ever sleeps. Maybe there's a back way. It doesn't look like it. Shoot.
What was that?
I'm staying out of this.
My husband, Bercy, will be the death of me. Oh, he spends too much time worrying about Riften and not enough about himself.
Drifa? I was looking through our books, and there's an entry for spices. Says we spent 300 septims. What is that?
Spices? I'm certain I have no idea what you're talking about.
You sure? It was in your handwriting. If you can't keep the books straight, then let me do them.
Ah, yes, spices. That was... Special order for someone in Whiterun. Should be along any day now. Don't let it worry you, my dear.
Okay.
trees. They're beautiful here. Reminds me of autumn at home.